Episode 2 of Season 2 of Doctor Who just debuted over this past weekend, and well, it was definitely a thing. It really was. And taking a look at Rotten Tomatoes, hey man, the critics love it. Oh my god, 100%. Bro, it's a gangbusters hit. Okay, don't mind the audience score. That's just a bunch of bigots that are out there. But you also take a look at the reviews that are there, and 37 from the critics and just over 250 from the audience. Yeah, not a lot of engagement. Not a lot really happening on this. And even still, not a lot of people were really talking about this. Okay, because this is the most obvious example of a zombie franchise, okay? Because it wasn't that long ago, right? The 50th anniversary was 11 years ago at this point in time, and Doctor Who was everywhere. You could not go, you wouldn't even know anything about Matt Smith, but you would see his visage everywhere. It was huge. And now here we are 11 years later, hell, with the help of Disney, with $100 million of Disney money, and all of that enthusiasm, all of that excitement for this franchise is absolutely gone. They're resorting to a bunch of gimmicks that, to be completely honest, a bunch of other franchises are doing just as well. I mean, how much different is this from what the Fantastic Four is doing? Like, the scripts are still going to be total ass for that, but hey, retro-futuristic 1960s aesthetic, that's definitely going to be able to overcompensate for the girl bossing and the cucking that is on the horizon. That's totally going to make up for the rest of the script's deficiencies. And oh cool, you got little intermittent animated sequences that, you know what, all things considered, I've seen a couple of stills and a couple of clips. They look pretty decent, which is better than you can say about, just about every other integration of CGI abomination we have seen from, major tentpole releases. It's just, this is what happens when you do so much damage to your brand, when the stories are just this bad for this consistent amount of time, when you denigrate your fan base so often and lie to them, belittle them, and berate them over and over again. You just end up spewing your vitriol to an increasingly empty forum, and then you're left crying alone in your own cinema. Oh well. And we know who's doing the crying, right? Well, that would be Ncuti Gatwa, because for as little as I know about the episode that just debuted, one thing that's for certain, and somebody who maintains that streak, is of course the Doctor himself, and he cried again. RTD responds to Gatwa's crybaby complaints, and Doctor Who, you don't tell an actor not to cry. Well, actually you do, because you write the scripts, and the scripts imply the emotion that the person delivering the lines would be evoking if they're doing their job right, but because Ncuti has two modes, overly flamboyant gayness and weepy mess, I mean, I guess you're right with what you can work with. Since Ncuti's debut in Doctor Who, some fans have raised eyebrows at just how often the 15th Doctor ends up crying. From the church on Ruby Road through the current run of episodes, the emotional outbursts have become a regular occurrence, a stark departure from how previous incarnations tended to handle their feelings. Yeah, exactly. Every other Doctor had a very defining, very emotionally resonant moment. It just normally didn't involve tears. And if it did, it was powerful, it was meaningful, because it didn't happen every goddamn episode. Historically, the Doctor has been more restrained, often expressing grief or sorrow through a quiet moment or a haunted look. Rarely did it break down in tears, and when it did happen, it usually marked a moment of exceptional weight. Now, some fans feel that the 15th's emotions are being placed front and center a little too often. Well, yeah, exactly, because Russell T Davies just wants to write gay stories. Ncuti Gatwa, being a gay black man, can't act anything outside of his own worldview, so yeah, whenever the ageless Time Lord needs to go ahead and be confronted with a problem, instead of confronting it with a stiff upper lip, well, that stiff upper lip is quivering and also covered in shit. Russell T Davies, however, is standing firmly behind the performance. Speaking to TV Line, he recalled the first instance of Gatwa's tears on set. I mean, I remember the first time Ncuti did it. It was on the 2024 Christmas special, the church on Ruby Road. He thought Ruby, played by Millie Gibson, had vanished, been erased from time and space, which was astonishing. That he turned around in the studio and gave us a performance which was absolutely spellbinding. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people, those few millions of people who watched it at the time that can still recall it. Davies dismissed thoughts that the crying is written into the script. Yeah, you would think that, something like that would probably be accounted for by the scriptwriter, but of course, he's bad at his job, so why would it be in there? You don't tell an actor whether to cry, not an actor of that stature. Who the fuck is he anyways? Like, what are you doing? Absolutely not. It's like, you wouldn't tell anyone to laugh or not to laugh. Yeah, you would. It's a beautiful thing he does, and it's a completely new thing for the Doctor that opens doorways to whole new experiences. While some longtime viewers are unconvinced, Davies sees it as a part of the show's evolution. Yes, because he has the best interest of this show's health at mind, right? Diversity is so many things. Oh my God, going down with the ship. Good for him. And sometimes it's putting emotions on screen that haven't seen before, or that the Doctor has withheld himself from, he said. But it does make me laugh. No, you're not supposed to, because it's not written down like that. I know sometimes fans get up in arms and they complain about it, and they're the same fans who say, why don't you do something new with the program? And you're like, hello? Yeah, no, because they're asking you, okay, from the slop that they've been seeing over the past few years, why don't you try something new? And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. Or I'm sorry, you're like, yeah, okay, cool. Here's a bunch of crying. And it's like, no, that's different. We want something that's actually different. Why are you a bigot? Okay, cool. We're just going to go ahead and not pay attention to the shit that you're doing, which is exactly what has happened now. Because, bro, we all knew this day was coming. We all knew that the Under 2 was here, given the fact that, yes, the overnight for the season debut was a stone cold 2.0. But not even I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, we'd have the gradual decline towards 1.5, but no, just that 420,000 viewer drop-off, 1.58 overnight for episode 2. Holy shit. There's a strong possibility that by the end of the season, it's under 1. That would be wow. I did not think that. I knew it was going to be bad, and I knew we were very likely to get there, but I was thinking like 1.8, high 1.8, 1.9 or something like that. I didn't think 1.58. And the fact that we haven't got the +7s already for, the first, for the season premiere, that also paints a very grisly picture. This is, and I think it was it was Nerdrotic, it was Gary that, made the statement that this is the most vandalized and damaged franchise, because I can back up his claims that Doctor Who's popularity around the 50th anniversary in 2013, that shit was everywhere, man. It was a phenomenon. Even in my relatively small city in northern Alberta, there were Whovians everywhere. I had fans that were big fans of the, current iteration, Matt Smith's era that was ongoing, and then also going back to the Tom Baker runs, the old classic Who, because, yeah, his look and, the Doctor Who scarf, that iconography, TARDISes and Daleks, they were everywhere, okay? You could not escape that shit. But now, 1.58 million people. I'm shocked. I'm legitimately shocked by that. Like, it's not an act. I'm not putting on anything. I'm not one of those fake reactors going, oh my God, I can't believe the sad thing happened. I better start crying right now like the 15th Doctor. No. I was big shocked by that when I seen that. But apparently Russell T. Davies wasn't all that shocked, okay? Because R.I.P. Doctor Who. Russell T. Davies saw your comments about the show ending and made them Doctor Who canon. Fucking what? What is going on here? Okay. Despite the rumors being unconfirmed, Doctor Who fans have been becoming increasingly convinced the show is drawing to a close, and Russell T. Davies has quietly folded the public's confidence in this regard into season 15's second episode. The showrunner doesn't confirm or deny the matter of Doctor Who's cancellation, but rather pokes fun at those who appear certain that Ncuti Gatwa's version of the Doctor will be the last one for a long while. Davies does this by giving the leader of the Doctor Who season 15 cast an incredibly meta scene to perform, because that's always the sign of a very strong show. The last one that I remember making direct jabs at the fans, that was She-Hulk. How well did that second season do? Oh, right. Davies is arguably the most influential behind-the-scenes figure in Doctor Who's modern era. Well, he was until he came back, but what's he talking about here? Okay. Lux brings, yes, the 15th Doctor face-to-face with fans, 3 characters who know that the show is just a series of sci-fi adventures, and they know that they know who the Doctor and Belinda are, and they're openly criticize the episodes as it's still happening, and one of them even says R.I.P. Doctor Who, which I think was started by Gary, or at least popularized by him. Holy shit. Rent-free. A multi-million-dollar production, and a YouTuber gets under your skin. Jesus. They know that which is a nod, yes, to the unrest of social media about the show's supposed drop in quality. Supposed? Well, I mean, you could just take a look at the ratings and, judge from there. It's part of a fun and much larger fourth wall break, but also highlights a very real issue that portions of the fan base have with the show. But yeah, they want to pinpoint it to the 60th anniversary of the giggle. No. This was going on and around Jodie Whittaker's infamous episode, The Timeless Children. That's when people who were very immersed in this show were starting with the RIP Doctor Who hashtag. Okay, like that. That's when it kicked off. I would imagine that's probably where you would go ahead and find the impetus of that. But now you can cope as much as you want, that the Doctor can take a break, or maybe you could just tell other stories because of the bi-generation that ended the 60th anniversary celebration. Go ahead and do whatever you want. But at this point in time, nobody's going to watch. The BBC is going to silently cancel this shit. I would imagine, okay, at the end of this series run, at the end of the 8 episodes, there's probably not going to be a big formal declaration that, yep, you know what, we're just going to be putting Doctor Who to bed for 5 to 10 years. We'll just come back. You can just check in later. I would imagine there'd be, we have ongoing conversations, and, hey, RTD's, yeah, he's working on season 3. He's got scripts cooking, and they're looking great. It's going to end up in a Star Wars type situation. We're really looking forward to working with Taika Waititi, Ryan Johnson, Dan and Dave, Simon Kinberg. We're really excited to bring back Ray. Any of that type of stuff, okay? Just go ahead and make soft allusions to, they were always just so great to work with, but never give any concrete start dates. This is such a dead show, and now we have proof that nobody's even watching this pathetic, shambling corpse. And this is the future for all of these current franchises that already know that there are problems. So if they don't fix this shit right quick, they're going to end up with a weepy Doctor outright attacking their fans. That's your fate. So take the advice of RTD. Try something different. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Cosplay. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.